All right, let's jump right into this. We're talking about a district in Seoul that, if you just glanced at it, you might think, well, it's just another industrial area. But Geumcheon's story, well, it's pretty much the story of South Korea itself. It's this incredibly fast, almost relentless journey from a gritty factory floor to a slick digital frontier. It's a place that has completely reinvented itself, and we're going to unpack exactly how that happened.
And this, right here, shows you that story in a single snapshot. I mean, look at the difference. On the left, you've got the past, a skyline filled with smokestacks, the air humming with textile machines. This was the powerhouse behind Korea's export boom. Now look at the right, the present. Those smokestacks, gone, replaced by these sleek glass towers just packed with IT startups, huge gaming companies, and giant fashion outlets. It's a total 180.
And here's something you would probably never guess. The name Geumcheon. For an industrial powerhouse, you'd expect a name like, I don't know, Steel Town or something, right? But it actually means collar stream. How about that? It's this beautiful, poetic name from way back in the Goryeo dynasty, meant to make you think of a stream flowing as elegantly as the collar on a traditional robe. It's just this amazing, beautiful contrast to what the district became known for.
So, here's how we're going to walk through this incredible transformation. We'll start with its roots as Seoul's main factory floor. Then, we'll see how it rebooted itself into a digital and fashion hub. After that, we'll get into all the unique contrasts that make this place tick. And finally, we'll take a look at what's next for the area they now call G Valley.
Okay, first up, let's rewind the clock and get into the origin story of how Geumcheon became this industrial powerhouse to begin with.
So for a long time, this place wasn't even a district. It was Sihung County, basically just a key stop on the road connecting Seoul to the south. But then the 1970s hit, and bam, everything changed. The government built the Geumcheon Industrial Complex here, and it became the absolute beating heart of South Korea's textile and garment industry. Fast forward to 1995, the city is still changing, and Geumcheon-gu is officially created, splitting off from its neighbor, Guro. Fun fact, it was the very last district to be officially created in Seoul.
Okay, so that was the past. Now for the really dramatic part. How Geumcheon transformed from that factory floor into the digital and fashion hotspot it is today. This is where the old landscape gets a serious high-tech makeover. And to really get a sense of the scale here, just look at this number. More than 10,000, that's right, 10,000 small and medium-sized businesses are crammed into these high-rise buildings in what's now called G Valley. And we're not talking about old-school factories. These are modern buildings, a mix of office space and light manufacturing, just buzzing with innovation. But here's the twist, and it's a big one. Even with all that economic firepower, Geumcheon has the smallest residential population of any district in Seoul. Only around 230,000 people actually live there. So what does that mean? It means the district basically lives a double life. By night, it's pretty quiet. But during the day, it is absolutely swarming with commuters. So who are the new stars of the show? Well, you have giants like Netmarble, one of Korea's big three gaming companies, set up in this incredibly futuristic building called G Tower. And then, practically next door, you've got a totally different kind of icon, Mario Outlet, which is the cornerstone of this massive fashion district that pulls in bargain hunters from all over. It's this wild mix of high-tech and high fashion that really defines the area now.
And this chart really breaks down that economic DNA for you. See, the district isn't just a one-trick pony. It's got this powerful combination going on. A huge piece of the pie is information technology, for sure, but it's also got deep roots in fashion and advanced manufacturing that are still super important. It didn't just throw out the old industries, it built the new ones right on top of them.
So we've covered the economy, but what's it actually like to be in Geumcheon? Well, let's dive into the unique geography and the people who live there, because you guessed it, it's a place full of contrasts.
Geographically, you can think of Geumcheon as this long, skinny piece of land that's literally squeezed between a stream on one side and a mountain on the other. But the real divider? It's the Gyeongbu railway line that just slices right down the middle. This creates a really clear split. You've got the industrial and digital hub on the west side, and the quieter, more residential neighborhoods on the east.
The people here are unique too. I mean, check out this chart. Geumcheon has the second highest percentage of foreign residents in all of Seoul. There's a really big community of Chinese nationals and ethnic Koreans from China. If you walk through certain areas, you'll see it right away. The streets are lined with authentic Chinese restaurants and signs written in Mandarin. It gives the whole district this incredibly vibrant, multicultural feel.
And this all comes back to that tale of two populations. It's like a daily tide. Every morning, a massive wave of people flows into G Valley for work. Then, every evening, that tide goes out, leaving behind one of Seoul's smallest, but also one of its most diverse local communities.
So all these things together create a really one-of-a-kind identity. Because of its working-class history, it's a political stronghold for the Liberal Democratic Party. And here's another quirk. It's one of the only districts in Seoul that doesn't have a major university. But it is home to the super prestigious National High School of Traditional Arts, which, believe it or not, has produced a ton of famous K-pop idols and actors.
Okay, so what does the future hold? Because you can bet a place that changes this fast isn't standing still. The next chapter in its story is already being written.
The single biggest project on the horizon is huge. They're taking an old Air Force base right in the middle of the district and completely redeveloping it. The process is pretty straightforward, but the scale is massive. First, they moved the missile brigade out. Next, they cleared the entire site. And now, they're building what they call the G Valley Cyber Town, a brand new area with housing designed for IT workers, along with parks and schools.
And of course, you can't have a modern hub without great transport. They're getting major upgrades there too. A new subway line extension is going to make it way easier to get to the Gangnam area, linking G Valley with Seoul's other economic centers. Plus, they've already opened a new underground expressway that's helping to finally solve the legendary traffic jams that used to be a nightmare in the area. These are total game changers.
So, when you step back and look at the whole picture, Geumcheon really is a microcosm of South Korea's entire economic journey. It's like a living museum of development, showing you the path from factories to fashion and now to a full-on digital future.
And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. Geumcheon's story proves that radical, fundamental change can happen incredibly fast. So if a district built on textiles and smokestacks can reinvent itself as a high-tech hub in just one generation, it really makes you wonder, what's possible for the old industrial areas in Iran cities? What could their future look like?